If you don't know who I am Deborah, aka Debo. I'm the creator of Nursing School Jewels. I'm the person sending out the emails, creating case studies, creating practice questions, and soon to be released our Med-Surg study guide. I've not done like an official YouTube video in so long. I have been posting shorts and things of that nature, but I haven't really done like a real YouTube video, like a how to study in nursing school video in forever. So today, as you can see, the topic of today's video is how I would study in nursing school. When I say this, I'm specifically speaking of Med-Surg or pharmacology. It can be difficult as a nursing student, knowing what to focus on, how to focus on it, knowing how to apply that information. And there's so much more because you are literally swimming in a sea of information because you're receiving so much information from professors, textbooks, study guides, online resources. It's just a lot, and not knowing what to focus on and what is the important information can be very challenging, and was challenging for me when I was in nursing school. When I started nursing school, Jules, I was actually in nursing school. It was after I had failed my first semester of nursing school. I had realized at that point, I didn't truly know how to study. I was able to fly through my prereqs, like study the night before, day of type situation. But once I got to nursing school, I realized, those tactics, those habits were not gonna fly. And I knew that I had to make a change. So today I'm gonna talk about that change that I made. So when it comes to nursing school, when it comes to studying, there's really like a process of how I obtain, retain, and analyze, as well as apply the information. So, no, babe, this is not the time to play with that. This is not. Okay, if you hear little noises in the background, I do have a kitty. His name is Pierre. Here's a picture of us. That is him making unnecessary noises. First and foremost, I'm going to review or skim my textbook, and also review and skim any PowerPoints or any additional information that you may need. When it comes to the textbooks, you are not going to have time to read word by word by word. Skim the textbook, find the highlighted or bolded pieces of information. Those are probably going to be the most important pieces of information that you need to focus on. You just do not have the time to read a textbook word by word, page by page. Please just try your best to skim. And also, when it comes to resources, my biggest mistake was pulling from too many resources, pulling from resources online, classmates here, previous seniors who had just graduated, just pulling information from everywhere. And I think that itself causes even more information overload. I personally think it's best to stick to no more than 3 resources that you could utilize to gather information. So do not sit there and try to read from every resource, every textbook, listen to every person, because in nursing school, every nursing school is different. There's different things that you need to learn in different ways you're taught information. So it's not always going to apply. So just be selective of where you pull information from, because you don't want to be an information overload, not knowing what is the correct answer, what is the right way to do this, that, the other. I would mainly focus on information I received from my professor, skimming the textbook, and maybe one other online resource that I find is helpful or trustworthy. The notebooks help you focus on the key pieces of information, giving you that bigger picture. So when it comes time to get ready to do your practice questions, you can easily reference and review the information about a disease or disorder. Next, I like to, especially for Med-Surg, review the pathophysiology, review the physiology and the pathophysiology. Know how that body system is supposed to work, and also know how that disease process is affecting that body system. That will make things 1000% easier when it comes to learning how to apply this information, because you have an understanding, a background understanding of how things are supposed to work, and when they go wrong, you're able to identify what could possibly be causing this issue because you understand the pathophysiology behind certain diseases and disorders. So Don't spend too much time, but take some time aside to review the pathophysiology and the physiology. I think understanding those two chunks of information makes a world of difference when it comes to applying the information, especially when you get to the exam. It's super helpful, y'all. Just take some time. You don't have to spend a lot of time, but review the physiology and just review that pathophysiology of that disease or disorder. Last but not least, this is where I spend majority. When I say majority, I mean 75% of my time studying. Application. You need to know how to apply this information. You could spend hours, weeks, days memorizing all of this, but once you get on the exam and you don't know how to apply it to a real life scenario, the information is therefore useless. So take time to learn how to apply this information. This can be case studies. This can be practice questions. We have practice questions and case studies by disease and disorder on our website, completely free. Make sure you head over to nursingschooljewels.com to check those out. Utilizing practice questions and case studies helps to build your critical thinking, which is important throughout all of nursing school. Some of us, me for example, did not have great critical thinking skills at the start of nursing school, but the one thing that did help me build my critical thinking was the practice questions and the case studies. Make sure you are reviewing before you do your practice questions and case studies, just to give your brain a quick refresher of what you're about to quiz yourself over. These steps, this process is what helped me get through nursing school after failing my very first semester of nursing school. Now, I understand this is not a one size fits all situation. You take this routine and tweak it to best fit your needs, but just remember, I feel like I want to make sure I emphasize the most important part of this routine is the application. This is where you will spend most of your time. Do not get caught up in writing for hours and hours and hours. There are certain pieces of information you need to know, and there are certain pieces of information that is just fluff. Our notebooks help weed out that information, but just remember, spend majority of your time applying the information. The more you apply the information, the more prepared you are for exams, the more you're building your critical thinking, and just the more you are ready when it comes to stepping into the real world of nursing. Made it this far in the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Deborah, aka Debo. I am the creator and founder of Nursing School Jewels, and make sure you guys like and subscribe. Also, comment below, what are some things that have helped you get through nursing school? Thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a great semester.